I do have another question with logical reasoning. So, going through some of your videos, I note one of the strategies you talk about is diagramming certain logical reasoning questions, but not all of them. And I guess my question is just when would that be necessary? And is that something that you should do if, like, say you run into a hard problem, but you're running out of time and diagramming would help you solve it? Should you go ahead and diagram that? Should you skip it? Or
Yeah,
just different tips on that?
great question. So diagramming, I think most students tend to diagram far too much.
Okay.
I would diagram very little in logical reasoning, only on certain specific question types.
Okay.
So those types would be sufficient assumption a lot of the time,
Okay.
parallel reasoning sometimes, and must be true questions and other inference questions sometimes. That's it. Logical reasoning is much more informal logic where you are really engaging with the arguments in a real world sense. But for certain particular types that are more formal logic style in nature, it could be useful. But diagramming is not a substitute for thinking or for engaging with the argument. And there are really, like I said, very limited cases where it's useful. And that's where it's more technically worded, the way that a normal person would never talk. Lots of conditionals are a good indicator that you might want to go in that direction. And then you'll see, of course, in the course, I've got the formulas for sufficient assumption questions. So that's a unique category where diagramming is often a valuable technique, but I wouldn't resort to it all the time.
Okay. That's good to know. Okay, perfect. Because I don't normally diagram, so it's like, ooh, should I be doing that more? But good to know that it's three types, so that I'll try practicing that when I run into that issue.
Yeah, of course. And if you're saying like, I don't diagram much, should I diagram more? The answer is probably not. Typically people diagram too much and I have to move them away from that because some other companies out there, they'll suggest diagramming all the time. And I come across students who are trying to diagram a necessary assumption question where that's not really useful at all. They're just essentially summarizing all the proper nouns in the stimulus with letters, but that's not really getting you anywhere. It gets you somewhere when you're taking the contrapositive or linking things together. If you're not doing that, it's probably not going to help you. Thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already to be notified of new episodes as I release them. And feel free to reach out if you need anything at all as you move forward with your prep. I'm happy to help however I can. In the meantime, I'll wish you all the best and take care.